Oh, hello, Gina and Donna. Thanks everybody that's on. I see 8 people. Oh, 8 people already and 7 thumbs upward. That's all right. We haven't even get started yet. Y'all are optimistic. Hopefully the signal holds up, man. Usually I'm in a spot that usually has a good signal, but right now it's stormy outside and the weather outside is frightful, as they say, and hopefully it's going to work. Um, I just checking the signal speed right before I started. It's always fine here, and I'm like, oh man, both Verizon and AT&T are both slow. I can hit the house internet, but it's a little. Sometimes that gets iffy too. So I was like, I wanted to stick to one of the cellular ones, and it was slow because it's so stormy. So I just I got the thing on my hotspot on the booster now. And it seems to be working all right. So hopefully that holds up. But if not, you know why now. So let's see, Wild Feather, Samantha, Sandy. So yeah, that's it's been interesting up here with the weather this year. We'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, Wyoming, eastern Montana, South Dakota, North Dakota. Spring snow is like par for the course, um, but it's usually not like it's like a day or two and it's gone. And so this has been a little bit crazy up here. So so Kathy from Oregon, all right, and Guy, hello. So we'll do small talk here for a minute, then we'll get going. Give everybody a chance to get on. I find if I hit the any important topics too quick, then somebody comes in later and missed it because they weren't there for the first couple minutes. Because the way notifications work and everything takes people a few minutes to all get on here. Although obviously some of you are waiting ahead of time. So Betty from Texas, hello. Let's see. Oh, Laurie, hello. Oh, and Wendy, I almost missed Wendy there. Thanks everybody for joining us. Me, joining me. A year or doing 2 Meander live chats, and I'm still talking in the plural here. So, meanwhile, I'm kind of holed up here drinking hot coffee and got my heater running just 2 feet from me, trying to stay warm. So, oh, hello, Jody in Florida. Oh, there's Deborah. She was busy emailing me something. I just saw it ding through. So my head right now, I feel confident that I feel like an Apple support guru. So um, you can guess what I've been up to today. So let's see. So we have 94 in Memphis. We do not have the problem of excessive heat here in Wyoming right at this time. Yes, let us know anywhere but here. That would work. Deborah Van Sant, hello. So yeah, we've been working on getting Deborah's stuff all configured and walking her through a brand new to her, or at least anytime recently new to her operating system, um, and getting things configured so that everything talks nice between her phone and iPad and laptop now. So that's a process that I thought was going to be we had a few little glitches we had to get sorted out, but it looks like we've got it figured out now. Everything's working, hopefully. So, but yeah, so everybody's bringing up weather already. It has been just a strange year. Uh, um, I've taken a call on this our winter relapse because we often up here in this part of in this area. I mean, I'm from out in the Northeast. That would be like really weird for us to get like a May. Well, I guess it happens, but it's weird to get a late spring snowstorm. Usually one spring. We have 4 distinct seasons, and I like to say Wyoming has two: too hot and too cold. But we're brutal summer and brutal winter. But yeah, we've been this weather. I mean, so it's typical. We had one a couple weeks ago, and lasted a couple days and it was gone. And that kind of goes with the territory here. But this is like a 10-day stretch, and the thing is that nobody saw it coming apparently because the weather forecast like a week ago was saying we were gonna have one day in the 40s and rainy, and that was it. And then it was gonna be back to spring type weather, a little bit cooler than it had been, but back to spring weather. And it ended up, it's like a 10-day stretch. So we're not going to see, I mean, it's been rain and snow and freezing temperatures and highs in the 30s and low 40s and just been nasty. So, hello, Mark. We're just getting going, so no worries. Let's see who else is logging on here. So we got Caveman Camping in Denver. Let's see. Yeah, I see you 812 in Connecticut. Yeah, and I know it's not just here. I've seen a lot of places are getting the same weird stuff. It appears this is the same storm. I think this is Deborah's fault because she got chased out of the Eastern Sierras last week with a snowstorm. And as far as I can, as far as I may have missed something, but I think that's the same storm that just came across or that same system. But it's just weird. It's not normal. So it's kind of been not so pleasant hold up. But I got heat. I'm okay. It's not a big deal. It's just annoying. And the big thing is I'd like to be out, getting out and doing stuff, and it's just not been very pleasant. So I did get a fun little clip at the park earlier with it snowing and everything. I used a screen grab out of that for the thumbnail for this video. And so if you're follows any social media, you may have seen it on there. That little clip I did. Just to show what it looked like with the snow coming down this morning at the park. Only in the low 70s, even in Vegas. That's surprising. I would have figured you guys for 90s by now. So, Noreen, hello. Are able to make it tonight. That's great. So, yeah, it's oh man, Irene's over in Croatia with bad weather. That's a big trip. Yeah. So anyways, I'm not complaining because it's hitting a lot of people. It isn't weird. That's just just the reality. I'm holed up, and that's why you're not seeing any new awesome scenery videos from me because I'm holed up in the fan waiting for the weather to improve. So, so I'm anxious to get out and do that. So, oh, Donna, she's got a new camper. Congratulations on that. Yeah, 14 foot's not a bad size. That's probably pretty comfortable. Nice balance of space versus big and weight and everything. So yeah. So anyway, got the heat running. I'm okay. I'm parked in my son's driveway right now, so I got electricity, which would be a challenge with a solar otherwise. Um, so I'm on no big deal with any of that. It's just I'd like to get out and do some sightseeing and hiking and the like, and I'm kind of holed up till this improves. But I did have to borrow a quote from Narnia. For it's always winter but never Christmas, so that's kind of it's what it's starting to feel like up here. So the irony is when I was recording the video last Wednesday last week, actually, we did the video and it was like 90 degrees in the van, a little over 90, I think, or maybe just below it, hit 95 in the van that day, and I think I got down to about 88 while I was doing the video, maybe. So kind of crazy change to go from that to this. Oh, thank you, Jones. You just sent a tip through PayPal. I appreciate that. Um, gotta go in. Gotta go in. If I can get out for the snow, we actually have a winter storm watch for tonight. So it's like 3 to 5 inches of wet snow. Excuse me. It goes through tomorrow morning. So if I can get out tomorrow, I need to get down to motor vehicles in the county clerk's office, and they do it at the clerk's office and the treasurer's office here to register your vehicle. You go to the. It's kind of interesting because I never lived anywhere that does this, but you go to the treasurer's office, the county treasurer's office. No, I got it backwards. Go to the county clerk's office and do your title paperwork. And since this is van's coming from Montana, I got to have the sheriff's deputy go out and do a VIN inspection. And then they do the paperwork there. I pay them the $25 or whatever it is for the title. And then they give me paperwork and send me across the hall to the county treasurer's office where they do the license plates and collect a ridiculous amount of money for sales tax and stuff. Wyoming actually has somewhat expensive vehicle registrations, but we don't have state income tax. So, trade-offs, right? So anyway, as soon as you're done with that, if you don't have a bank loan, if you own the vehicle, you go back across the hall to the county clerk's office, and they actually issue you a title right there on the spot. So I've never been anywhere that did that before. So that's kind of convenient. Um, I was surprised Deborah too when we did her van up here. So, but anyway, that's tomorrow's project. So I appreciate that, Joan. Anything little extras coming in is helpful with that because that'll. I've been procrastinating about it, but I figured it's probably time I ought to get that done. Yeah, hopefully not. Yeah, the Noreen. I am still in Wyoming. I'll be doing. I'm gonna be based around here for the summer. I'll be doing some running around to get it out as much as I can. Um, I gotta. Um, I think usually the kids do something for Memorial Day, so I want to be here for that. And then after that, I'll probably take off for a bit, assuming the weather improves like it's supposed to, and then I'll be back for. I guess it's about the second week of June. My folks are going to be here from Massachusetts, and they're celebrating their 50th anniversary while they're here. So somehow we lucked out on that, as opposed to my brother and sister getting them. I'm not sure how that worked, but actually I do know how it worked. They contacted me back late winter, early spring, with two dates. One was in May and one was in June. My mother says, which one would be safer with the weather and everything? And I told them, well, probably a safe in May, but you just never know. Well, this area, they do periodically get snow, so June would be safer. So turns out that the week they would have been coming out was smack in the middle of all this big mess. So I'm really glad I told them to wait for June. It had nothing to do with their anniversary. It was just trying to get them on the road safely and not just have a miserable experience with an RV. They got a 29-foot Class C they're coming out in, and they'll be staying in an RV park here in Gillette for a week or so and hitting some more of their favorite sites and stuff around the area. So I'll be here, anyways. I'll be here for that, but I'll be in and out of this area throughout the summer and then somewhere in the fall we'll take off. So. Oh, it's Donna. Yeah, that works nicely. If you get to work a week out of a month, you can get out then. That works good. Oh, I miss you too, Deborah. Isn't that sweet? You admitted it publicly. We got a record now. You can't ever say you don't miss me. Yeah, Wyoming's got some great places to see, Carrie. Um, I think the eastern part's a little dull, but some people love the prairie and stuff, so it's okay. And there are some exceptions to that. I mean, like Devil's Tower, the Bear Lodge Mountains are pretty nice, and they're in the edge of the Black Hills National Forest over in northeast Wyoming. But generally speaking, it's kind of prairie. But the mountains in the west are really spectacular. A lot of really cool stuff over there. And Medicine Bow National Forest in south central Wyoming, that's really really pretty. We actually did the cover on Deborah's latest book was shot down there. So. Oh well, congratulations early, Mark and Irene, on your upcoming big anniversary. That is something. Oh, hello, Ren. Glad you could join us for a bit. Deborah says Joan's going to keep her. See, I can't blame her. Uh, So yeah. Anyway, there are a few exceptions on the Wyoming thing, and Montana's the same way. There's a few interesting things in the east, but it's a lot of prairie, and if that's your thing, then you're all set. But most people, when they think of Montana and Wyoming, they think mountains, and that's kind of all in the west on both states. So it just depends what you're looking for. Um, oh, Carrie, I appreciate you following along. I'm glad you enjoy this stuff. So. Catherine's asking about how the rig does with the heat. It does pretty good. I do have to put up the reflectors and curtains when I'm trying to control the temperature because it's got a ton of windows. If you saw the tour, you've seen all the windows in it. And I love that when I'm camped out somewhere remote and when the weather's cooperating. Even still, when I'm out remote, I'll move the reflectors or the curtains side to side so I can see out one side and have light and everything. But with this weather, I got Reflectix all over everywhere, and the everywhere that's paneled, including the ceiling, is insulated, and there's some under the floor as well, insulation. But the basically the heat, the van itself holds the heat fairly well. I got a little heater running in here, and that works pretty well. The floor is cold, so I like trying to prop my feet up and stuff, and then it's okay. But and if I put my hand up here by the high top, it's definitely warm. So where the heat collects. So, let's see. Deborah Van Sant, thank you. A cup of coffee. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Joan says I can come visit too. I wish it wasn't quite so far away. I'd love to buzz over and meet everybody, but we'll see. Maybe we'll see what Deborah ends up doing this summer, and maybe later this summer. Or I got to work it out to get over there though, because I have not spent too much time in like Oregon and stuff, and I haven't seen Northern California at all. I've only been Washington. I've seen a fair bit. Yeah. Yeah, Megan, we do that a lot out here too. It's just weird. It's such extreme temperature changes sometimes day to day. It's weird. Let's see. Wild Feather wants to see as much of all the states. Yeah, when I always say there's more than one way to be a nomad. One of the ways I was considering doing before I started traveling full time again, 3.5 years ago now, was because I'm a digital nomad. I work wherever I got internet and electricity. So I was really thinking about doing the plane hop into inexpensive locations and doing that whole thing like a lot of digital nomads do. And when I finally come down to it, I was like, we were in like a really big country, and there's so much here at the time that I haven't seen. I still haven't seen. And at the time, I hadn't even been to all the continental states, and so and I have been like across Canada a few times, although not recently. So I definitely want to see this too. So I decided so I'll start here, and then later, if I get bored with it or tired or whatever, I can always go do some international travel then. But we'll start out here, and I felt a little bit like the barriers to getting started were maybe a little lower too, with starting in the U.S. You can just jump in your vehicle and go explore. You don't have to. It's a little bit less risky while you're getting started, getting used to the whole thing. Oh, Christy, hi. Oh, Ren, that sounds like quite an adventure. Hope, glad you'll be able to get out again, though. Oh, there goes Patty. You're still up in the Mount Shasta area, I see. It's nasty over here, too. Snow and yuck, and it's just going around, I guess. So I've been known, you guys have been following me for a while, you'll notice, I've been known to like drop everything and drive 100 or 200 miles to get out of a nasty weather. But sometimes it's just a big system, and, all you can do is just hunker down and get through it. And it seems like it's like everybody's getting bad weather, but I'll still take this over the tornadoes and other stuff and flooding some other places are having. So that's oops, sorry, shaking the camera around. So Mark, yeah, I totally agree on the windows. I remember I was telling Deborah a little bit ago. Some of you I can't remember his last name. Maybe Deborah can put it in the comment there. Guy named Wayne, anyways, and I was editing videos for Bob, and he had this one of the full size Nissan vans with the window van all the way on. And during the interview, he was sitting in his passenger seat that was turned around, and he said people ask him why he did a window van instead of a cargo van. He's like, look at my view. And that's when you can get them open when the weather's nice and your camp's somewhere out. There's nothing like it being able to spread out and just be able to look around and see the forest around you. And I love doing that too. Like when I go to bed, I'll leave all the windows open, and then as soon as the sun comes up, I like wake up early and naturally with the sun, and so I just love starting the day that way. Mark, thank you. Appreciate that super chat. You're not as cute as Deborah, but fair is fair. No argument there, my friend. Let's see if I can catch up again here. I'm talking too much. I can't keep up with everybody. Oh, Lynn's on here too. Hello, Lynn. Elaine. Let's see. Jody. Yeah. Yeah, it seems like everywhere's getting bad weather right now, Gina. So just gotta. My consolation is a few more days and it'll be getting nicer. So trying to work on some projects I got going while I'm homebound here in the van. So um, yeah, you can if you can reach them, you might be able to do reflectix on those apartment windows, Noreen. I have had good success with heavy blackout curtains though too. So I know you're down in a warmer part of the country. I'm trying to keep the heat in, and you're trying to keep it out. In a week or two, I'll be trying to keep it out too. But I was dealing with that for a few days. Then we just did a flip flop. So that Deborah, yes, Wayne Weirs, thank you. Yeah, anyways, I always remember that comment, and I have to agree. And I was in a minivan, I had the same thing, and so I kind of am partial to it. So I mean, I would have bought a cargo van if that's what came along, but I'm pretty tickled that I have the windows because I really enjoy it. I'd rather deal with a little more. A little less temperature control and be able to have the windows when I want them. That's just a personal preference thing. So, so yeah, I got reflectix on all the big windows. I just have uh, curtains on the barn door window still. I don't have enough to go around right now, so I need to get some more for those. Um, but I wasn't using them much at first. When I first started traveling, it wasn't until I got back in the city. It's actually a combination of trying to be not super stealth, but a little bit stealth. Um, I'm parked in my son's driveway right now. That's what we talked last week. I had to move from out back where I had a little more privacy to the front driveway. So I'm trying to, I'm not to be obvious that I'm like camping in the van or anything in their driveway. Um, just to avoid a problem. So well, their neighbors are pretty good so far, anyway. But that's a good point, Deborah. You could do that. You could do like you did with your van, and that probably wouldn't be a problem. But I could see apartment managers complaining about a bunch of reflectix in the windows. I try not to do it in the van. I don't like the look, but sometimes you got to. So Mark's asking about screens for the buggy season. I actually have on the three big windows. There are little vent windows that slide open. Those have screens on them already, and of course the roof vent has a screen on it. And then all four of the barn doors have tip-out windows, which is really cool. Those don't have screens on them, but I have a bunch of screening with magnets that I can put over those, or I can open the barn doors and hang them and put up magnets, kind of like Deborah does. And I also have screens that are cut to fit for the both of the front windows that I can again put up with magnets. So I can really open this up and get a ton of air flow through when it's nice out. So that's really nice. So. Samantha's asking if I have considered getting some plants or herbs. I have not thought about that since I got this van, but I have thought about it in the past. And that's a good point. Now that I have a little more space, I probably could do something like that. So I will have to consider that when I finish getting settled in. I'm mostly settled in doing a little decor stuff. And y'all may have seen in a recent video, I had the two Meander sign up that my brother made for us last spring. We finally got that mounted in the van. Um, I want to replace some of the plastic boxes I have with other things that are a little more aesthetically pleasing. To kind of fit in with a lot of people have commented this has like a cozy cabin feel to it, and it does. And so I kind of would like to have some storage containers that kind of fit in with that a little bit, rather than just plastic. So we're working on some of those things, and once I get that all squared away, I'll have to think about maybe a few herbs or something like that. That would be fun. Yeah, yeah, Deborah, we are both mooch docking right now. I am anxious for the weather to improve so I can get out in the wilderness for a bit. But yeah, Gino's saying in the old part of town people still use foil notice. I can believe it because it gets hot down there, and blocking that heat would make a big difference. And if you're, especially if you don't have air conditioning or can't afford to run it much, that would anything you can do to keep it cooler, or if your air conditioning is just a little bit underpowered. It depends on the herbs, Mark. They're pretty particular about vehicles traveling north from Colorado, though. They like to check those cars out. Oh, that's true about California. You got to watch out for them. We have seen them seize plants over there and other things, but we've been fortunate. One guy tried to seize Deborah's blanket or a scarf or something she had hanging up. Apparently, I don't know. I don't know if he was just giving her a hard time or if he really thought it was had a print on it. I don't know if he's looking through to the back. I don't know if he thought it was actually a plant or if he was just busting on her. But oh, mint plants that would smell good. So yeah, they got so much agriculture down there. You can't such a big part of the economy. You can't really blame them for being worried about people importing stuff. It is a hassle in certain places, like if you're camped in Winter Haven. I know some of you have camped there over but near Yuma. And Winter Haven's in like American Girl Mine Road and out that Sidewinder Road. They're in California, but the nearest shopping of any significance is in Yuma, which is in Arizona. So if you go over there and buy produce, you got to like either hope they're just going to let you through or try and smuggle produce across straight lines. Like a bootlegger, trying to get vegetables back to California. But it's not that I would mind buying them in California, but it's nowhere remotely near. It's like a several times further trip to find a grocery store. So. Oh, Jan, hello. Thanks for joining us tonight. Yeah, I'd already, Deborah got caught at that border thing, and I'd already gone through, which is typical in our experiences, because I'd be driving a minivan or a Toyota Echo, and she'd be like stuck, and I'm like, zoop. They don't even stop me, just wave me through, Deborah, they're like getting ready to do a full on search or something, whether it's border patrol or agricultural checks. I go through, and if worst case, they might be like, "So why's your seat turned around?" Oh, okay. Deborah, they're going around with the dog, asking her if she's got anybody in there, why she has all those vents on the roof and all kinds of stuff. Uh, all right, what else we got on the list here? Anyways, oh yeah, okay. My knock on the window. If you're a nomad, and you're traveling by vehicle, and you're doing any moose stalking or stealth camping or overnight in a Walmart or a rest area, you just kind of live in this some level of fear of the knock on the door, right? I mean, if you're sure you're not going to have a problem, it's like a minor low level concern, and but it's always there. You're like, I hope I don't get a knock. So last night, yesterday afternoon, I'm in the van working, and all of a sudden I hear this. I'm like, is somebody knocking? I'm like, I don't see anything. A few minutes later, so I peek out. I see it. So I go open the door. It's my 6-year-old granddaughter. Pops, I was knocking. You didn't answer. I was like, okay, so I'll handle that. I'll take a. She can knock on the door anytime she wants. So. But she was on the driver's side, which threw me for a loop too. But anyway, she wanted to come check out the van. She hadn't seen none of the kids had seen it yet, so she climbed up over my lap. I went out to the front door. She climbs over my lap, ducks through the curtain, and boop, pops, I'm on your bed. So the three oldest granddaughters made the trip out yesterday, anyways, at different times to check out the van, and all three of them were primarily impressed with the bed. Pops, your bed is so big. And all I can assume there, because I'm like, what is the fascination with a bed? I got a cool sink, I got a stove, I got a ice box, I've got a desk with my computer on it. I got all kinds of cool things, and you're interested in the bed. All I can figure out is that my two vehicles, the minivan and um, the trailer, I had 21 and 24-inch beds, which were horrible. So all I can figure is my 50-inch bed with an 8-inch mattress on it and blankets and pillows is mind blowing to them because they've never seen pops have that big of a bed. That's all I can figure out there. So yeah, they probably do want to jump on it, Deborah. And one of the 4-year old, yeah, the 4-year old one came in last night, and and I got the heater going, and her father keeps on, don't get the heater. She keeps trying to back into it while she's looking around. Yeah, Mark. I don't even know the last time I had a knock. It has not been since I was full time out here. I think it goes back to when I was doing traveling and stuff, and I'd occasionally try and overnight in out east, because they're more militant about it. I never got much sleep out there either. I mean, you pull into a rest area, they got 2 hour sleep parking restrictions, and the state police would go through and like write down license plates and come back and check. And I just have not actually had that happen since I've been out west, and as I've been traveling full time again. So, but it's like it's always always there. You don't want to run into it. So, uh, yeah, I know the desk is like so cool. I got a camera sitting on it right now, and I just finished cooking dinner a little bit ago. The 4-year-old came out last night. She brought me out a little Tupperware container that her mom sent out with leftovers from what they'd had for dinner, and so I threw it in a skillet this evening and threw in some more vegetables with it and and cooked it up. That turned out good. So 28-inch, yeah, that would even be an improvement over my. I started with a 21. It was just my arms falling off all night and everything, and I didn't sleep good at all. So I redid things. I went up to a 24, but this 50-inch, man, it's so nice to be able to spread out and kind of it's really nice. I will say, even with the terrible weather, which bothers my back a lot, that this bed, between being able to spread out and get comfortable and the nice 8-inch memory foam mattress, my back's not bothering me much at all right now. So I'm really pleased with that development. So, Deborah got a knock outside Bishop, California. I'm trying to remember this. It seems like I heard this story and I can't quite place it, but. Oh, Stephen, hello. Yeah, I mixed mixed things up. There we go. We'll go with mixed. I mixed things up this week because the granddaughters, three of them, or the three older ones, are playing t-ball on two different leagues, and all of their games are on Mondays or Wednesdays. So we decided to move this back to our Tuesday night where we used to do our two Meander ones, so I can at least catch some of the Wednesday ones. Turns out they're all canceled this week anyways because of the weather, so I could have waited another week to change it, but I didn't know how bad the weather would be. Yeah, it was. I mean, I did. I mean, I did okay sleeping in those beds, but it was never as comfortable as I would have liked. Your arms falling off, your legs falling off. You have to like wake up to roll over or something, so you don't fall on the floor. I did it. It worked. It just wasn't. You don't realize how uncomfortable it is till you go back to something that's more comfortable. Then it's like, oh yeah, that's better. But I mean, some people may do just fine on them too. I don't want to discourage anybody from trying, but that was my experience. Yeah, Trilby says she went up 5 inches. A 25% bump is a good improvement. Uh, yeah, I would have, and I would have lived with a twin mattress, but this came with a full size, and so I just went with it. So it's almost full. It's full is 54 inches. This is 50 inches, so I had to cut 4 inches off the mattress to make it fit in. But My boys are pretty practiced up at painting vehicles, Deborah. They'd probably be glad to paint something up for you when you get up here and stick some stickers on it. Yeah, some form of comfy bed. I will say that it's. I know before I started traveling full time, it was kind of like yeah, whatever, you know. And it's one thing if you're doing a short trip or on vacation or something. Not that you don't want a good bed, but you can kind of like tolerate it for a bit. But when you get to the long term and you're doing it night after night for months and then years, it really is. Um, it really is. It makes a big difference if you can have a comfortable bed to sit. I'm going to kick on another light here. Oh, that's a little too bright. Well, that'll work, I guess. Look at it. It's getting kind of grainy looking with the low light. So yeah, it's worth thinking about. If you can get a comfortable bed, it's worth giving some thought to. Um, it's definitely. Yeah, Uncle Mark saying that memory foam in their trailer is so nice that he and Irene may junk the home mattress, go with memory foam. This one, uh, Greg and Val had a mattress in it, and they said it was so bad that when they got home from traveling for the winter, they threw it away and planned on buying another one. Then they decided to buy the trailer and sold the van. So I bought it without a mattress. Other than that, it was turnkey. I mean, everything was ready to go. So I went and found a nice 8-inch memory foam that's very similar to what Deborah, I think it's the same thing, even though it's what Deborah has in her van. It's just a little bit um, bigger, you know, but it's the same height and everything. So really comfortable, and I'm glad I did that. So, and yeah, I find it very comfortable. It's working really well for my back, and that says a lot. So, oh, that's right. It was the BLM guy. Okay, yeah, I forgot about that, Deborah. I knew I'd heard the story, and I was thinking of like when you were stealthing at the Ford dealership or something. So, thanks, Deborah. I'm glad the lights working. That's the first time I tried that particular. I got like five, seven LEDs on the sides and two big ones that have two bulbs on each, and three more little LEDs front and back. It's I got a ridiculous amount of lighting here. It's really cool. So, and the nice thing is I can get it wherever I want it. I don't have to light up the whole van. I can just have this little bit of, you know, light. It's turning out to be convenient when I'm doing video and stuff because I can get light where I want it. Pretty good. I mean, yeah, Deborah Van Sant's using memory foam. I've been really happy with it. I mean, I wasn't sure, uh, you know, but I had two nights on a little hiking camping pad, and it was so uncomfortable and so cold. And the only reason is I stopped at Butte at Walmart, and they were out of mattresses in my size, so I ended up going into Billings and finding one on the way. But I don't know about the cooling gel ones. That the memory foam can to me it can feel a little warm when it's hot out. Right now I'm mostly dealing with cold, so it's like a huge improvement. But I don't think I don't personally find it to be a problem with like cotton sheets on it. Um, but I haven't actually tried one of them, so I don't have any direct experience. Mark, thanks. Glad that worked. I'm looking at a little screen, so it's not always easy to tell for sure how how it's looking. And I got yeah. So yeah. Speaking of getting hot in a van, I'm gonna have to turn this heater off pretty soon if yeah. Gina's having good results with memory foam. It's definitely a different feel, but it just it's it works for me. So oh, Jan, yeah. I think Greg was saying something about having to order some online, and they were being kind of pricey. Deborah's got the ones that are the bigger bulbs, and those are we have to order those online to even find them, and they're kind of a little bit pricey too. Surprisingly, they're not like brutal, but they're more expensive than I would expect. But hers we've only gone through two, and both of them were because they fell out because they're just the pins that pop in, and if you leave them down when you're driving on the road bouncing, sometimes they fall out, then they break. So trying to remember to aim them up in the air when we're not using them, so that doesn't happen now. A silk sheet. Well, yeah, there you go, everybody. Deborah's using silk sheets. Super bueno. Not hot at all. I'm using the cheapest cotton sheet I can find from Walmart, and thought I was doing good getting sheets. Period. So, kidding, kidding about thinking of not getting sheets, but yeah. All right, Deborah. Maybe I'll try a silk sheet next. Let's see, Christinia. I hope I'm saying your name right. My vision's not what it used to be, you know. Does a solid base for the bed make a difference? I have a cot. Doesn't seem high enough off the floor and comfortable. I did a cot for a while and it worked, but I didn't love it. Um, I do. People have different opinions about this. I prefer a real bed to set up, and I would rather sacrifice some other things to have a bed that's just set up, so I don't have to like make the bed every night. Um, and I've done a few of these now, and this is the best. This is also the best mattress I've had too. I've had like a few inches of foam. So yeah, I find if you can get a solid bed frame and it can be, I mean, it can be built with plywood or dimensional lumber or whatever. Um, just as long as you got a flat top on it and it's sturdy enough, and then put a good. We're all talking about memory foam mattresses, and you can order them online or get them sometimes at Walmart or sometimes you pretty much probably at a mattress store, I would assume. Um, and yeah, I find that to be pretty comfortable. The trick in any kind of van is balancing the height off the floor to the ceiling. So like in my minivan, I had to go at 12 or 13 inches for a deck height, and the reason for that was because if I went any higher, that's kind of was kind of low. I would like to have been a few inches higher, like I think around 16 or 18 probably is probably good. But if I went any higher, I couldn't even sit on the bed. I already hit my head on the bed, even at the 12 or 13 inches on the ceiling, at the 12 or 13 inches. So it's kind of a balancing act for your vehicle. This particular one, the I haven't measured the bed height, but it's higher than that. It's sized for to fit 7-gallon water cubes underneath of it on the one side. So it's probably 15 or 18 inches, the bed height. And then I've got an 8-inch mattress on top of it. So my feet actually dangle off the floor if I'm sitting on the bed. But I got like a mid top in here, which I can almost stand up straight. So it's not bad. So the ceiling height, I should measure it, but it's probably 5'8", 5'9", or something to the ceiling. And that's with the paneling and insulation. Um, so it's kind of a preference for where your own what's comfortable, but I do find a solid bed frame to be worthwhile. You don't get the rocking and rolling and squeaking and groaning and everything all night and what have you. So, let's see. I'm getting way behind here again, everybody. Yeah, I know a lot of people use futons and stuff. This in this case, one of the reasons that was memory foam. First of all, Deborah had the same mattress. I knew what I was getting. Just she had the twin, and I had to get a full. But secondly, I knew I was going to have to cut it down to fit, and it's pretty easy to do that with a memory foam. They're not super easy to cut, but it's not a big deal. It just takes a little patience. And some of the other, I have heard of people cutting down other mattresses. I didn't want to deal with it, so I just did one with something that would be easy. Wrap the pad back around and the mattress pad back around, and then put the sheets on, and that was that. So ooh, a 14-inch memory foam. My goodness, now you're getting up there. I thought my 8-inch was thick. Best fan, Chevy or Ford or Dodge. I think some particular model years have certain issues, and as long as you look out for that or make sure that stuff's been addressed, they all make decent vehicles. I think it's got far more to do with how it's maintained and operated and driven and things. Um, Deborah's van's got. I don't. What are you at, Deborah? You're over 210,000. I know that. Um, this one is. This van only has 112 on it, but it's actually older than Deborah's van. And you get into like minivans. My minivan had a 226, I think, when I bought it. That was a Chrysler Town and Country, and 246 when I sold it. As far as I know, the gal that bought it from us is still driving it. So a lot of vehicles these days, unless it's a really lemon of a vehicle. If you yes, Deborah's at 212, so she got 100K on me. That's because all that buzzing around, zipping all over the country she does. I can't keep up with her. I would be more. I mean, if I was looking to buy a particular vehicle, I would just research that vehicle for reviews, see if there's any known issues, and see if those have been addressed. And um, other than that, I'd be far more worried about how it's been maintained and driven and taken care of. Because a vehicle that's been well taken care of, and like my town and country was, Deborah's just not commented there about hers was before she got it. She's taking good care of it. That makes way more difference than usually, with rare exceptions of like a lemon design. That tends to be the bigger determinant. My minivan was bought new by a traveling salesman in Arizona. Never saw snow. Drove it all over the Southwest. All highway miles. A friend bought it, and put a. I mean, he stayed right on top of the maintenance. He drove it for, I think, 2 years, and he drove it all over. He do as a nomad all over the country, really, Florida, Wisconsin, all of the desert, and but again, he took really good care of it. I got it and maintained that, and so it went very little maintenance. I mean, it wasn't like a lot of stuff breaking, just routine stuff, keeping on top of, and it did really well. And that's like Deborah's experience has been the same way. She's made out very well with that van. All right, I'm way behind here again, so a few more comments. People agreeing a bed is important, and it really is. I underestimated how important that was when I started out, and eventually it kind of caught up to me, and so I'm really glad to have that addressed now. Jody has a Dodge Grand Caravan, hoping to build out. Um, yeah, I seriously considered buying another minivan before I bought this van. When I started looking, I had one for, it was over a year in it. I did like 20,000 miles all over the country. I took it places, honestly, I should not have taken it, and it worked really, really well for me. Occasionally it felt a little small, but I got 28 miles a gallon if I held the speed down on the interstate with it. Hold it to 62 or 65 with a cruise on. I was at 26 or 28 all the time, so I couldn't complain about that. It was super stealth. I had tinted windows, and I hang up black curtains inside the tinted windows, and I could sleep anywhere. I could rain visors in the front, leave the front windows down so I didn't have condensation. I could, I mean, it was just a minivan. Nobody cared. Nobody paid attention to it. Easy to get worked on if you needed to. Easy to find parts for it. So, yeah, I think it's a great deal. The only big reason I shifted to the full size was because as I said earlier, I wanted a set up bed, which I had in the minivan. Then I would sit on the bed and access my kitchen counter, which was on the other side. But I also wanted to. I had the seat turned around in the minivan, but I wanted to be able to have a dedicated desk space, which I have in this van, and I just couldn't figure out how to do all those things in the minivan. So I decided to take the plunge and go a little bigger, and so that was the big reason. But for a lot of people, I think a minivan will be just fine. If I wasn't trying to work in it full time, I almost certainly would have done one again because it worked really well for me. Okay, let's see. Yeah, there goes Patty. My truck never rocks unless it's a bear banging on it. Deborah sent me a little cartoon about a bear the other day. That reminds me of that. I can't remember the exact cartoon now. I'm still, yeah, the caption on it, but it was a bear doing that. So yeah, this van is way more comfortable. It really is very, very comfortable. I've only filled the tank twice. I filled it up in Butte not long after I left Greg's house, and then I filled it up again the other side of the Bighorns before I came over the mountains. So I haven't filled it up. It's been parked since I got back here for a week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever it's been. So I've only got one reading, but that one reading was towing the car and going over some mountains in western Montana, and I was at 15 point something miles a gallon. I think it was 15.6. So I'm really curious to um, drive it without towing the car and to not go to the mountains, see what I can get for a top speed on that. And there was a lot of back roads and stuff, and some interstate, but a lot of back roads. So I was really pleased with that. Greg tells me he used to average about 14 consistently, sometimes a little better. So we'll see where that all shakes out. It's got the smaller V8, the 302, which helps account for that. It's more than adequate for power for this van, but when you get into the mountains with a car behind it, that was the crux with that. That it's really a little, it's within spec, but I don't want to wear the van out. So and Samantha's mentioning minivans again. There, yeah, I really think minivans would be a great option for a lot of people, and they're a lot easier to find anymore than full size vans, and they're just easy to drive, and they get good gas mileage and easy to get maintained, and so they work well. You don't have quite as much ground clearance as like in a full size van, but you can get a lot of places if you're careful. Um, and it does the job. You can get the essentials in there for sure. And then if you get into like turn the seats around, you open it up all that much more. I loved having my seat turned around in there. That worked real well for me. Um, I just after I'd been about 3.5 years now, I guess, working this way on the laptop, either in a car or like in Deborah's van when I was there. I was like, So I really wanted to be able to spread out and have a desk. So, and since I spend so many hours in a typical day working, that was just something that I felt like was worth making the investment to be able to be more comfortable. And it's not just the actual working comfort; it's the efficiency of when I go to bed at night. I can leave the laptop out and my hard drive or whatever, and so I can leave some things out on a camera, so I don't have to put everything away every time I get up, or else then I have a pile on the passenger seat, And so it's just for the kind of the way I work, this actually was worth the investment for me to go a little bigger. But for the most part, yeah, I think minivans are a great option. And Samantha's saying she's looking to do part time. That makes it a minivan an even better deal because it is an easy, comfortable vehicle for running around doing errands and stuff. Matter of fact, when Deborah and I were traveling together and we had the two vans, we often did exactly that. I'd tell her, just leave your van parked. We'll take mine. It gets better gas mileage. Everything's ready to roll. She's got a better system now, so it's not as hard for her to get ready to move. But she used to have to bungee cord down things and what have you. And so we often just took the minivan to go do errands and stuff. And that makes it an extra good deal, though. Yeah, dogs do take up space, even a smaller dog, and especially when it's hard to. It's probably a little hard to fully imagine if you haven't done it, but you can be perfectly comfortable in a van, but you start throwing another animal or another person in, and it's like everything you want to do, you're tripping over each other in the way, and it's just it can get challenging. So that is a challenge. If you don't have an animal, that does make that a little easier too. All right. Okay. All right. So I was gonna mention too. I think Deborah mentioned this a little bit, and we put it on social media. But we got a new feature launched that we just rolled out this week on our. I think on a Saturday actually. We gave the patrons a sneak peek a day early, but so we as you may know, we have been doing campsite reviews for a while. You may have heard us talk about them. We don't have like thousands like one of the big databases, but we do. Um, do you have detail? The reviews we put up are only places we've been to, whether we camped or whether we um, at least visited it. So we have photos and GPS coordinates and detailed information that the kind of information we'd want to know if we were thinking about going to camp somewhere. In other words, before we drive way out of our way, And yeah, some of it's an adventure and you just got to find out as you go. But when we're researching it, we'd like to look it up. So what we finally have done, everybody was asking for it, and frankly, we wanted to do it too. It just was a matter of taking the time to put in the work to get it done. We now have a new page on the website. It's in the menu. It says campsite reviews. And if you click on that, it will take you to a page that has a nice interactive map with pins on it. And those pins are color coded. Green is free or donations accepted, and yellow is up to $20, and red is above $20. We only have a handful above 20. We try to keep it cheap ourselves, but occasionally we say something's really cool and was more than that, and so we'll occasionally put those on there. But anyways, you can zoom in, drag the map around to get to the state or area you're looking for, and when you click on it, it'll pop up on the side and show you the name of that campsite and a photo from that campsite and a link to go to read the full description, the full write up on it. So we're pretty excited about that new feature. Frankly, I'm excited enough about it that now I'm excited about getting out and writing some more campsite reviews because it's more fun to share them, because we know it was a little awkward to try and find them before. So if you haven't checked that out already, it's just go to meander.com and you'll see it in the menu. It works on mobile and on desktop computers. Works everywhere. If you're on mobile, you'll see the little three hamburger line thing for the menu. Just hit that and hit campsite reviews, and it'll take you right to that page. So we're really excited about that and wanted to share it because we're not trying to compete with Compendium or whatever. There you go. Deborah's got the link up there. Thanks. So we're not trying to be that. We're just trying to share places we've been, and so it's a smaller sampling, but it's a high quality review with a lot of details. We list cell phone coverage. We're starting to include AT&T. We used to only have Verizon, so that was all we could list. But I'm starting to check AT&T when we go as well. So having fun with that, and hopefully that's something everybody finds useful, because we know it was a little hard to find before. So. Oh, Jan, thanks for joining us. Yes, I see a few of you have already checked out the map. That's fun. I was really glad to be able to introduce that. So yeah, speaking of campsite reviews, Mark often mentions campsites on his Adventures with Jane there on his YouTube channel, and he finds some great places. I'm forever like, Mark, how did you find that place? Yeah, an app would be nice. That would be taking it. Yeah, that's the next level on that, I guess. I got to make myself a note here, folks. I'll be right back. That would be fun. I used to do software development back in the day, the dot com boom, and then there was the dot com bust, and that was the end of that. So then I did websites for a long time. I did web development for a number of years too. So oh, Julie Tooley, hello. Yeah, Jane helped Mark. There you go. Yeah, we're excited about that. I'm actually waiting in the mail. This took longer than hoped due to some challenges getting the formatting and everything for the printing. I'm waiting our Meanderings magazine that we sent out the PDFs to everybody that was supposed to get it. Hopefully, um, I'm waiting on a proof copy. It's supposed to be here today. I don't know if anybody's been down to check the mail in the snowstorm. But I'm waiting on a proof copy. And as soon as that, as long as it looks okay, we'll be getting those print copies out. And we're trying to get it. We're planning on putting the second quarter out in June to try and stay on schedule. And that just depends on if I can get out. I'll get out of the city because the snow quits. So, so I can get enough pictures to show something. Uh, so that wasn't on my list. I just got that email earlier that it's supposed to be delivered today. So yay! I've been waiting for that. So all right, that's all I got on my list here. Keep drinking coffee, so I stay warm. Yeah, I don't remember how. I should look up how many reviews we have on there right now. But we're publishing right now. We're publishing one a week on Mondays, so they'll keep on getting updated. And it's pretty slick, the map. I'm real happy about that, to be able to offer that to everybody, because I like using it. I'm playing with it, and Deborah, I sent it to Deborah and showed her, and she checks it out, and then she's going to bed. She thought it was really cool, and a little while later, I get another text. I'm still playing with a map. So she was staying up, losing sleep to play with it. So, oh yeah, yeah, I can imagine Flagstaff's wintering now because so much of the country's getting hit. That's last time I was in Flagstaff, I got snowed on. Actually, that was back in. Well, it was wintertime then, but still, this was fall still. It wasn't really winter yet. Oh, yeah, there we go. Deborah's getting her marketing hat on now, trying to figure out where to get that magazine around to. I kept her up for hours. So. Uh, all right. Well, I should go. Speaking of the magazine, I should go check and see if they really checked the mail. If they just forgot to bring it out to me or something, they might not know what it is. So, uh, oh, Joan, hello there. I don't. Yeah, I think I talked to you earlier. So you've been haven't seen you much tonight. You and Deborah are probably causing trouble over there in Oregon. And so, yeah. And so anyways, I think I'll go check on that and see if that's come in. But I really appreciate everybody joining me. Oh, when will the magazine available? I need to get those uploaded. It's done. I need to upload it to for anybody that it goes out free to patrons at a certain tier, and so I need to upload the PDF to a different place, and then as soon as I get the proof checked out, the print ones will be available too. So we'll have to do like a social media post or blog post or something about that as soon as we get it up and available. It's just largely a matter of me getting it done. I was down for a couple days. This kind of the week was Saturday and Sunday, or yeah, Sunday and part of Monday. I was just worn out. I got been going nonstop for a while, and I just hit a wall, and so I'm kind of catching up still on email. I still have a few more people on my list to email tonight before I quit for the night, because then I'll be caught up again. I think so. So yeah, I just got to get them get made available. They're all done and everything. So oh, and 90s in Florida this week. My gosh, we were in the 70s here last week, and yeah, now we're snowing. So oh well. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody joining me for this live chat. This has been a lot of fun for me. Hope everyone else enjoyed it as well. And I will go check on that print copy because I'm excited about it and I want to be able to share that and get some of those out to people. Um, but thanks for joining me. We'll do this next week on Tuesday again, so I can hopefully make the granddaughter's game on Wednesday if the snow ever quits, and and otherwise, I think that's about it. So yeah, we'll do that, and yep, lost my train of thought. But okay, we'll hear again on Tuesday evening next week, 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern, and so I can have Wednesday free for a t-ball game, and I'm gonna go check on the magazine. So thanks everybody for joining me. I really do appreciate it, and hope you all have a good evening. Stay warm or cool, depending on which part of the country you're in, and we'll see you